Thanks for staying with us. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has instructed ANC councillors to fire municipal officials who failed to take instructions from the executive. The ANC has unveiled a 6-point plan to revive ailing municipalities. Parallel structures of 2 mayors and divided councils have been frowned upon, where ANC divisions spill over into the government.
4,804 ANC councillors converged in Johannesburg to receive marching orders from their president Cyril Ramaphosa. Sewage running down the streets, refuse not being collected, lack of water provision are daily realities of residents at a local level. Now underperforming public representatives are going to face the axe.
We have agreed on the action plan for local government that has 6 pillars, as read out by the SG. Firstly, we must address core service delivery commitments. That, comrades, is what we need to do. Yesterday, I said to the NEC, the issue of service delivery, comrades, we have to do it, and we must approach it like the Youth League was saying in their theme of a conference. They were saying economic transformation or death. And I say it's service delivery improvement or death for us.
Ramaphosa called on party representatives to resolve service delivery challenges in their wards within 48 hours in relation to water leaks and sewage spills on the streets. Ward councillors have been called upon to work towards municipal infrastructure maintenance.
It is unacceptable that as councillors, as leaders of the people of the areas where we live, we can have water leaks, sewage running in the street, and not take any action. Reverend Chikane puts it very well. We must be the first to know. Now I want, and your marching orders today are when there's a water leak, when there's sewage in the street, you must be the first to know, and you must do something about it within 48 hours.
Municipal officials were also not spared by Ramaphosa. The ANC president has decried officials' failure to perform their duties.
Sometimes officials themselves become obstructionists. They sometimes refuse to execute executive decisions that have been taken. Now, the solution is simple. If clear decisions have been taken by an authorized entity and someone who is supposed to execute those decisions does not do so, there's only one way out, and the way out is the door. That is the only way out. It basically means that that person has decided to divorce themselves from the interests of the people. So this is a clear message. As we thank our officials, and we thank them immensely, my presidential newsletter this morning was about thanking our civil servants who do incredible work to support the people of South Africa. And we applaud them during this Public Service Month. But those comrades who, as we seek to turn around our municipalities, are going to be obstructionists, are going to be stubborn, are going to be slow, are going to refuse to act in the interests of the people, the door, and if they want the window, they can go through the window as well.
Ramaphosa urged the party to deploy competent individuals to key municipal leadership positions. Councillors were called upon to look at their municipalities as investment opportunities for businesses, but services must be their priority. Samkele Masego, SABC News, Johannesburg.
All right, let's delve deeper now into this conversation. We now speak to the local government expert and public finance management advisor at Ndalo Governance Zolani Zonyane, who is joining us virtually. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. So the Constitution is clear, right? The objects, for example, of local government say in part that it's to ensure the provision of services to communities in a sustainable manner. Yet here we are. We often hear of a lack of skills. Politics also among the stumbling blocks. Are they the only factors?
Good evening, Bongiwe. Good evening to the viewers at home. You are correct to start by linking it directly to the Constitution because that's the genesis of the existence of local government itself. But the factors in terms of what has led our local government to the current situation, number one, it's the issue of disintegrated planning because even the Constitution itself is emphatic on integrated planning, on cooperative governance. But beyond that, it's the people factor. We do have at political leadership level, administrative level, I would say people who do not necessarily have the capacity to deliver. But let me emphasize, you've got good public servants, you've got good public representatives who occupy those particular positions. For me, if we can tackle the people factor in so many ways, we improve or we live the spirit of cooperative governance, integrated planning. But lastly, I will say as citizens, we often argue that we don't participate enough. It then becomes our opportunity at this point in time to ensure that we stand up, we are counted, and we participate on how we are governed.
Yeah, and you know, some questions arise just from public participation, and I'll get to the disintegrated planning in just a moment. Let me stick with your last point because you speak about the, people getting involved. It's quite an important one, but do people know how to do this? And I ask this because, for example, when I was growing up, there would be street committees where they would go around and making sure that information is disseminated to people, and then people then know where to go and how to do it. Is that still the case currently, or is it all about power, access to resources, and we see very little when it comes to the persuasion of people to get involved?
The power and access to resources, I think it's something that came after, because post-1994, I often argue to say one of the biggest mistakes that we've done as ordinary citizens was to outsource our own power, as you have indicated, because pre-democracy or pre-1994 activism, you didn't have to push citizens, communities, for them to stand up for what they believed was right then. Somehow we had too much trust, too much faith to those who lead us, but it has proven that it's time for us to usurp that power back. And again, as you're saying, public participation is not at the level that it should be. But if you look closely on some of the initiatives recently, we talk about the regulations, for an example, that have just been withdrawn, many legislations where there is that door that has been opened for people to participate. But what we need to do, as you are asking, we need to empower these people that we say must participate, and that becomes my responsibility, your responsibility, or a responsibility for any other professional who can lend a hand in ensuring that communities, various stakeholders, organized communities are supported technically. Similarly, as we do that, we also support the very same public representatives.
Yeah,
because some of them, honestly, it has come through today.
pardon me for coming in there. You speak about the disintegrated planning. It's a huge concern, right? And I heard even the Premier of Gauteng at some point saying that he's now trying to make sure that the cities actually work together and everyone knows what everybody's doing. But today, the ANC president speaks about something that is very important. He says to the councillors, look at the municipalities as investment opportunities, and councillors also should ask themselves if any business person can invest there. We've seen the impact of disintegrated planning. We've seen the impact of a lack of service delivery. So if there is no provision of water, the streets are dirty, how on earth can an investor put their money there?
Absolutely no way, because as much as we want to believe municipalities are directly involved, for an example, in economic development or economic growth, they are involved in creating a conducive environment for the businesses, for the investors to invest. It's for that reason that, if I make one example of Clover in Northwest, which decided to close its shops, it was basically because of the absence of service delivery or poor service delivery. So in the absence of investment in infrastructure, ensuring that when the tap is opened, there is water coming out. When I switch, the lights are coming on. If I drive on the road, I don't worry about skills for tackling potholes. Until our municipalities get to that point in infrastructure investments, in ensuring that they attract investment, it's through that we will be able to grow the economy, create the jobs that we are talking about, and ensure that we've got thriving and sustainable communities.
Yeah, briefly before I let you go then, you speak about Clover, for example. It's in a municipality that right now is a problem, and we're seeing national government intervene in Ditsobotla, for example. So when you look at the problems that we've seen documented so well in the AG's reports of over many years and various other reports that have been done about local government, can these matching orders that these councillors were given today help?
In the long run, they might help, but not to immediate the
All right.
want. And I'm saying that their budgets, which
Zolani, your line was letting us down there. You can go on for just 20 seconds.
is it okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. As I was indicating, municipalities are currently implementing the budgets which have been recently approved. So all the plans, the action plan, the 6 pillars, if they are not in the budgets currently, there's no chance that those commitments will be delivered.
It's going to be an interesting road ahead. Let's see what happens. Thank you so much, Zolani, for your time. Appreciate it. That was a local government expert and public finance management advisor at Ndalo Governance. That's Zolani Zonyane. On that note, Tempo is standing by with the weather.